With a brand new update for Sulfur called the Qiosk Update, they added some new weapons, which is the first one called CYB-47. Then they have the Death's Toll. The CYB-47 is an energy rifle that shoots automatic laser shots or energy cell shots. Death's Toll is actually a alarm bell from the old days of, school, where they would be like ringing constantly when school was about to be out or in session. And on the final shot, the bell will ring. And then, of course, the third gun they got in this update called the Klein Bauer, which is a mini gun or a handheld minigun. What I'm showing here is the CYB-47. It has automatic functions. It kind of looks like a rifle, but I'd say it's a lot better than the Unknown. The Unknown's kind of a weird handheld pistol-like laser gun, but again, it only shoots 8 shots. This is way more than that, and I don't know what the little symbols on the right-hand side of the clip is. I don't know if there's an alt for this weapon. Haven't really tried it yet. The other gun I wanted to show off is the Klein Bauer. As you see here, the recoil on this thing is stupid, to where it's very difficult to go full auto and hit anything unless it's point-blank range. Unless you can keep the recoil down pretty low, or get a bunch of enchantments / oils to get the recoil down, I can't see this gun being very practical. And of course, the Death's Toll. It has 4 shots, kind of like the Balthazar, 7.62 in caliber, and when you fire it, it looks like the actual hand that hits the bell is the barrel, and then on the final shot, rings the bell entirely. So that is with the Death's Toll, and it's 7.62 caliber as well. But that was just a couple of new things that they added with this update. There's other guns I did not show up beforehand. It took me a while to get. The first was SOCOM ACR, and it is a burst fire gun, which I will definitely change either to fully automatic or get the semi-automatic, which is the piston system, and turn it into a semi-auto, because I dislike guns that are burst. I don't know why. Any gun or any game I played, like Soldier of Fortune or GoldenEye, I hate burst weapons. And this is the Blackwater. The Blackwater is a 50 caliber revolver that has more than just the 4 bullets. It has an entire clip, and you have to reload it a couple times before you have a full magazine amount. But talking about some of the new things added with this update, which is actually called Qiosk Plenty update, they did a couple of rework improvements. Scopes reworked and improved. And what it looks like now is that when you zoom into a Recon, Assault, or even like a 4X scope, it'll zoom in with the entire outline going dark and even goes a little bit farther in. It's not a magnification, I wouldn't say. Like, you can't just press a button and magnify it, but it has like a little bit more zoom when you're using the harder, or rather higher tier types of scopes. Assault scopes, once again, they're only like 4X, they're not going to go very far. But a marksman or a sniper scope will be a different story. While I'm talking about the updates and the improvements in Sulfur, I'm going to be showing off some of the guns that I was talking about earlier. For example, this is the handheld minigun, the Klein Bauer, which is essentially a very hard recoiling gun that shoots multiple rounds. And by the way, if anybody wants to know the caliber, it's 9mm. So if you have 2,500 rounds of 9mm, just note that you're going to go very fast. I don't know how many bullets you hold per magazine, but it is a drum, so maybe about 100 each. And I'm just going off picking stuff up because I'm trying to find other weapons. Now, I don't know if I have every single gun in the game. I probably have some that I need to get, like 1 or 2, but almost there. And plus, anytime they add a new gun, I have to go find it, which takes about 30, 40 runs. I think when I found the CYBP-47, I found that actually after my 20th run, and that was going to desert. And here's the thing about desert that a lot of people probably don't know of, and that if you do go there and you're trying to farm a bunch of different weapons, because the game is RNG based, I highly recommend trying to farm in that location. Now, you're gonna have to deal with the annoying hell shrew, I get that, but if you're fast enough and you can double jump, like I have the airsoft shoes, I have the Pope's hat for another extra jump, you have decent torso armor like the plate carrier, which I'm currently on right now. The ballistic vest is a, less better tier version of it, but has decent armor. And I think the ballistic vest is either 12 or 15 plus armor when it comes down to the plate carrier being plus 30. The only thing that sucks about the plate carrier is that you lose 10% speed, so if you're going pretty fast or trying to run fast, you're going to lose like 10% of it. But if you do have the airsoft shoes and even the running shoes on, I think it's like plus 10 additional sprint. This is a new thing that was also added with this update that are dummies, and you could buy these from Arthur for all the timestamps you get, or the stamps rather. And that could be from talking to Script, that could be to talking all the different merchants like Grossberg, Qiosk yourself, Dave, or, you know, whoever you need to. And they'll offer different quests for stamps. Like, you go to Script and you give him cheese, because that's all he wants. Cheeseburgers, macaroni and cheese, cheese itself, you know, whatever type of cheese you got. And you could just get it farmed up really fast by going to the cave entrance and then getting all your stamps that way. And I think it's like 20 or 30 stamps to get. It's not as expensive as the Holo Reality Projector or getting like a different gun rack. The other improvements they had were the level pacing improved. Doors and gates can now spawn between chunks sometimes, where basically in different levels you can go to the goblin caves, you can go to town. There'll be these doors that you have to unlock by holding the E button. Originally they didn't have a circle in front of it, but now they do, to show off the percentage or progression of whatever you're trying to go through with that doorway, so it's a little bit easier, as opposed to just seeing some things crank up or some type of chains go up and down and then you can go through the door. And they do give you the nervous feeling of trying to open up a door when you're being chased by an entire army of goblins or different hell shrew people, so it does kind of have that nervous reaction to it. Otherwise, they go on to say, making the world feel a bit more connected and giving you something new to nervously hold the interact key on while enemies are trying to kill you. Opening them takes longer while you're in combat, so you choose your time wisely. Then they talk about the 3 guns, 3 wearables, and 3 enchantments. Technically speaking, we already talked about the 3 new guns, Klein Bauer, Death Toll, and CYB-47, which I'm currently using now. They talk about the enchantments being Sacred Ground, Pollen, and Foul Fate. And then they add some 3 wearables, but I don't know what they exactly are. And they talk about some alcoholic beverages that increase your charisma, which, again, don't really care about my charisma, because if they have goblins and everything else trying to chase me, and I have to blow them up or shoot them with any type of gun currently in my possession, I'm going to do that. In terms of the patch notes, they talk about it is not possible to find individual recipe manuals in secret spots scattered throughout the world, where instead of finding a book, it actually gives you a normal piece of paper that says recipe of whatever it is, whether it be canned soda, whether it be cactus juice, or a dumpling, or cheese sandwich, whatever. You can get one of the recipes in the level. It's not just an entire book with like 300, which it costs about 20,000 anyway. Then they added dialogue shortcuts for secret shots that the player has already discovered, added achievements for completing the game on the different difficulty settings. If you completed the game before, you should receive them retroactively from the save selection screen. Exploding barrel decals now displayed properly. Pity for the Wingman achievement now has correct icon, and some other new fixes there. I'm not going to go through the whole crazy amount of different patch notes that there was. I mean, once again, I was mainly happy with the fact that they added some new guns that I wanted to try out, which are pretty fun to play with, shooting at the different enemies in Sulfur. And I mean, that can be anything from birds in the forest to the hell shrew I currently hate with every fiber in my being. And the goblins, which are just funny in general because they run at you and sometimes they'll try to stab you with a spear. But otherwise than that, there's really not much else to talk about. These were the main things I wanted to get kind of across when it came down to the Sulfur update. I do not know when 1.0 will happen, but it'll probably be a couple updates still left before that comes out of 1.0. Also got to work on the Ground Branch 1.0 release. I think that happened July 16th, which was almost a week ago. And I know I'm going to be late on that, but I do want to talk about it and some of the changes that they did, from the new patches to the new gun reworks, and even updating the levels like 747, which is called Airplane now, and then they have Small Ranch or Small Town Oil Rig. I'll be investing more time into Ground Branch as I try to get into it more, because I haven't really played a bunch of it. The other thing is with Quasimorph coming out of July 31st, I definitely want to play more of that, since I had fun with the early access all the way up until now with 1.0, and then being able to play like the new stuff in the beta, and then trying to like get prepared for the actual live update. That's going to be really fun too. So I can't wait to see what more they do to it on the actual final day of the release. But otherwise than that, that's all I got for Sulfur, and those are a couple things happening for the channel. I will be putting out videos. I'm just going to be slow to it. I got some things going on right now. Hopefully it kind of settles down later. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one.